Hi everyone, my name is Primrine, and welcome to my Lavawalker Hu Tao guide. But before we begin, I would only suggest doing this build and team comp if you have really good Lavawalker pieces, in which case, fortunately or unfortunately, I do have, and you have my specific characters. And for now, I won't be talking about alternatives for this team because I tried trying other different team variations and such, and it didn't work out too well. And this is the best team comp I have done for this reverse melt comp so far. So I will be talking about alternatives for now. And most of all, your Rosaria is she needs to be well built. As in, if you already invested on your Rosaria, I think this team comp will be really good. If not, and just don't. I don't want to bait you guys into wasting resin and such unless you really have the extra time to do so. Okay, with all that said and done, let's get into it. What are the pros and cons for this team? Let's start off with the pros. Number one, no Xingqiu needed. You can actually put your Xingqiu for your team 2 in Abyss. For like example, you can use it. You can put him on Vape Diluc or for Freeze Ganja or Kaya if you're free to play and don't have a mana. Stuff like that. And number two, this team comp has a lot of AoE and crowd control. Pretty self-explanatory, and the showcase will be able to show you that. And number three, Hu Tao is easier to use in this variation since you don't need to time your charge attacks for Vaporize on your, well, if you're using Xingqiu on her, obviously. And most of the time on this team comp, you will just go NC3 with Hu Tao. So what about the cons? Number one, this team has energy issues. A lot of the team's damage also revolves around Rosaria, and there is no Cryo character to fuel her. But we can kind of solve this specific issue, in which I'll go on about the build section later on. Number two, enemies needs to be in your fighting circle. Specifically, your enemies needs to be in Rosaria's burst. Rosaria's burst is large, but there are enemies that can easily get away from it. Sucrose does help out a little bit, but not entirely. Number three, this team is a bit expensive. You need to have high EM for Sucrose, in which you'll have to invest resin for her VV set, and Rosaria needs to be well built. And this team comp also requires your Rosaria to have C2 to fully maximize her reverse melting. And also, I won't suggest going for this team comp if you don't have C2 Rosaria. But to answer the important question, is this team comp good? Is it like, can it clear Abyss and stuff? And the answer is yes. Yes, it is really good. I have good clear times with this team comp in Spiral Abyss. And also there's one instance wherein I was able to clear Chamber 3 first half for, it's my fastest clear with this team comp, which is surprising to me since I didn't really expect it to be that good. And most of all, for me, this team comp is really fun to use. It's really fun. And it's very refreshing for me as a Hu Tao player to actually not use Xingqiu on her, because it is common knowledge to be like, you put Xingqiu with Hu Tao. Like, everyone puts Xingqiu with Hu Tao, so seeing it with no Xingqiu whatsoever, no hate on Xingqiu though, seeing it with no Xingqiu is a bit refreshing for me. So this is what your team comp would look like. You have Bennett to buff your team, Sucrose for EM pass, for the VV passive, and to keep your enemy grouped up. Rosaria here is your sub DPS, and she's the one who's gonna do the reverse melting, in which just a lot of damage for that one. And Hu Tao will act as your main DPS with almost guaranteed uptime with Lavawalker. Because when Cryo is the trigger for melt, in which case Rosario is the one who melts in this team comp, it will leave a pyro aura, meaning your Hu Tao with Lavawalker is always online. Your Lavawalker is always online for Hu Tao. Alright, let's get into the build. Your weapon, Blackleaf Polearm, I think that's best. For 4 stars, of course. Deathmatch also works. Dragon's Bane is just, it doesn't work for this because most of the time you'll be doing mono pyro damage with this on Hu Tao. And of course, if you have Savafama, in which case, I don't have one, then you can go right ahead and use that. I think that's the best weapon for this, but in my case, I'll just be using Blackleaf Pole because I'm a free-to-play plebe. Artifacts. Of course, it's Lavawalker. That. Good Lavawalker pieces. Not like godlike, but it'll do. And like I said, I only suggest doing this build as well if you have like really good Lavawalker pieces. So my Rosaria. Dragon's Bane is best for reverse melt. But if you don't have Dragon's Bane, you can also use Blackleaf Pole or Deathmatch, whatever you have. It's all good. But in my case, since I have Dragon's Bane, I use Dragon's Bane. Also, the difference between Dragon's Bane and Blackleaf Pole isn't super big anyway, so if you don't have Dragon's Bane, it's all good. Just use Blackleaf Pole or Blackleaf Pole, whatever. Artifacts, 2-piece Blizzard, 2-piece Wanderers. You can use Glads as well, 2-piece Glads, 2-piece Blizzards there. The difference isn't so big as well. But I suggest these since, you know, just to maximize damage and so. Also, your Rosaria needs to be stacked, like I said. She needs to have good pieces. I mean, these aren't godlike, but still. Oh yeah, I forgot to show Constellation, but my Hu Tao is C0. Wait, do apologize for this. My Hu Tao is C0, of course. And for talents, as for Rosaria, I forgot to say this, but it's best to do this build as well if you have like C2. This is the biggest power spike ever. And I think base Rosaria isn't just worth it to run for this team comp. So yeah, a lot of requirements for this team. Talents 168. Prioritize your burst because that's what's gonna reverse melt anyways. Bennett, I use 5 sword. You can use Desire. It'll slightly deal more damage, but from what I tested and seen, from what I played also, it's just best to run 5 sword. It helps with energy issues and it'll help out in spamming your Bennett's burst. So 5 sword is the best to go to. But like I said, Festering Desire is fine. Noblesse Oblige. Yada yada yada, HP, whatever this is, doesn't matter. I use crit rate for higher chance of me producing particles. Also, I use 5 sword as well, sorry. I use 5 sword as well for energy issues, if I didn't say that. Because this team requires your burst to be up as much as possible, so 5 sword helps with that. And there is no other Cryo character in this team to fuel your Rosaria, because your 4th member would be Sucrose. I see 2. I have 3 more constellations, but I don't pop them so far. I mean, for now. And here you go, Sucrose. Sac Frag for EM pass, higher EM pass, and helps with her energy issues. You can use 5 codex as well. If you don't have 5 codex, you can use Thrilling Tales. You can also use Prototype Amber if you want the healing, and it generates energy as well, so kind of helps out with energy issues. I use VV because you're gonna swirl Pyro and it will buff up your Hu Tao. So yeah, I use VV. If you don't have any VV, you can also use Instructors. There's nothing wrong with that. ER for burst and EM. I have C0. If you have C2, that's better. Even C1. It'll help you out a lot. Talents doesn't matter. It's a whatever. I just leveled up for nothing. Not nothing. So that's the build. So that's going to be it for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, or I hope this guide helps you out. And if you have questions or suggestions or complaints, just leave it down in the comment section down below. Also, if you think this team comp is fun or really helpful to you, please comment down in the comment section as well. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and enjoy the showcase.